Hello and welcome to Tools to Create a Better Life with myself, Glenyce Hughes. Thank you so much for being here. I am so incredibly grateful for you. So, if you're watching this by video, you can see behind me that there's what looks to be quite a mess. We are on, well, it's the morning before we start for day 4 foundation, the Pool Party Foundation, online and in person. So there's been actually some opening up here in Alberta, Canada. So we have actually been able to get together, those that could get here, and then of course people joining us online. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I had the very first pool party bars and foundation in 2018. So here we are a few years later, still doing it. Even last year, even though COVID was a thing, it was open up enough to have it. And then again this year. So how magical is that? Anyway, what do we want to talk about today? Is your life big enough? So speaking of COVID, one of the things that I've noticed for myself personally, now when the lockdowns and the, not as much ease with travel occurred last March in 2020, for me there was many things, and one of the things was like, thank goodness. I was ready to not travel for a while. I was ready to change things up, and it was really the invitation to do so. So for me, that was really amazing, and I'm very grateful for it in so many different ways. And what I have been noticing in the last probably month or so is that not that travel is the only way to have a bigger life, that's not what I'm saying here, but how much I haven't been choosing bigger, haven't even been asking bigger, because there's this enoughness, there's this, it's enough, this is enough, this is enough, and I'm really ready to change that. Like, I'm really looking at what is it that I could ask for, that if I would ask for it would show up as if by magic and change everything. Yeah, don't ask that. Do not ask that. Yeah, and it's just like this playfulness of like, I wonder, which is one of the tools that I share all the time, is to play in that space of I wonder. Like, I wonder what it would be like. Because if you were to say to me, hey, what is a bigger life for you? I don't actually have words in this moment. I couldn't say, oh, it's this, it's this, it's this. The only thing that that would feel really fun right now would be like a private jet. Like, that would be really fun. And I don't even have to own it, just ride around in it and go all the places I'd like to go. That would be like the only tangible thing I could give you right now. And so it's like this space of asking, perceiving, receiving, and being. I miss knowing, that's the other one. So it's something that we talk about in Foundation, of course, and probably many of the Access Consciousness classes, is that we are infinite beings. So as an infinite being, we infinitely perceive, we infinitely know, we infinitely receive. And so when we try to figure it out, when I try to engage my mind about what I should ask for, that's when it becomes a bit of a sticky point, because a lot of times we have to go to a decision about what that should be, and those are usually from judgments. So I'll use our buying and selling of acreages. So back in 2017, we sold an acreage and we bought this acreage. And when we first bought the first acreage that we bought, I had a list of, like, I'm not sure now, 30, 40 things that we had to have, because I was operating from the point of view that I had to be very specific, like very specific. So I had to put the amount of bedrooms and the amount of bathrooms and the amount of space and all these things. So I had a lot of things on my list. And then over the years, with all the different studies, and we bought that acreage in 2004. So over the years, and then in 2011, I started playing with the tools of access consciousness, and I got how much more I receive when it's an energetic ask. It's asking for certain energies rather than deciding or judging what's going to bring those energies. It's asking for those energies, unless, of course, there's something specific. So back to my house example. So with this place, when we started looking, we had some very specific asks. Very specific. One, I had to have good internet. Oh my goodness, I had to have good internet. The other place was phenomenal, and the internet was crap. There just wasn't a way to get it good there. So that was a very, very clear ask in my world, was clear internet. And the hubby wanted either a workshop or space to build one. So it didn't have to come with one, but he needed to know he could have one. So that was important to him. And the other thing, it wasn't necessarily I had to have it. I just love the idea of a walkout basement for business. So my business mostly runs down here in the basement, but it's a walkout basement. So it doesn't feel like a basement, so to speak. So those were basically all we had for our ask. So the rest was an energy. The rest was, we could just kind of get the energy of what we were, of the home that was desiring to own us, of what would create more for us. And it was just this totally different space of, from previously, of being very specific, exactly what we needed, with like, it actually doesn't matter how many bedrooms we have. There's two of us, and we share a bedroom. So back in 2004, I mean, I had a business. I was running this business at that time also. So, I wanted some more for that, but I just bought the lie that I had to be so specific with it all. And I'm so grateful that I've changed that, because really with this place, and many of you know, it has an outdoor swimming pool, which is like just the highlight of this home for me. And if I would have made a really specific list, it would not have included a swimming pool. So I wouldn't have actualized this home. I wouldn't have even seen this home. Hubby found it on Kijiji, which is like a buy and sell site. He wouldn't have even noticed it, because we weren't open to truly what else was possible. We'd never even considered back in that 2004 list. It was very concrete. So when I'm playing now with a bigger life like that bigger life, whatever that is, just that bigger life, whew, yeah, it's an energy. And I play, of course, with the private jet and the energies that would. And it doesn't even have to be. So this isn't like the desiring clear internet here. That's not like I will not travel until I have a private jet. That's not the energy at all. And the energy of that, right now it's summer here in Canada, and so it's amazing and beautiful, and we've had a lot of sunshine and a lot of warm pool weather, and I know that winter's coming. Well, it does every year. Like every year it comes. So kind of looking at normally, and prior to COVID, we would go to Australia, and looking at that going, wow, like what would it be like to fly that on a private jet? Yeah, and it's about, gosh, is it 16 hours? I don't even remember now, but it's a lot of hours. Now, we've only ever done it at the front of the plane where you've got your lay down beds and all the things. So how's it get any better than that? And what about a private jet? Like, how much fun would that be? But again, from this playfulness and whatever that is. Not the conclusion, it has to be that, because maybe there will be an airline that I've seen some on TikTok, airlines I haven't flown yet, where they have like an actual suite for people. Like that would be super cool too. So like really like that energy. So when we're asking for that, when you're looking at your life and you're living, you might have some specifics in there. You might. And you don't have to. It can be a totally energetic deliciousness. Yeah. Yeah. So just right now, just tap into that. Like, Yeah. What is the life and the living you'd like to be living? Whew. What are all the energies? If you could be or do or have or generate or create anything, what would it be? And again, you might have some things, some specific things, and also there's a lot of energies that come up just with that ask. That's where you want to play. That's where you want to play way more. Way, way, way more. Yeah, and I've been playing so much more in these past few months with energies and energetics and creating energetically. Yeah, yeah. And today on day 4, at the end, I always end in the last couple hours of foundation, we do a creation process. So I invite people to bring a list of 10 things or more, whatever they would like, of what they would like to have or be or do or create or generate in their life and their living. And then I take them through my creation process and clearings and then magic tricks to create things and all of that. And I love this part of foundation because foundation, a lot of times people think is really just about clearing the crap, and totally it is. And it's also about then creating what you desire. So life isn't just about clearing what isn't working. Life is really about, yes, those are tools if that's what's required, but life is about creating. Like, it's about creating what you desire, whatever that is. And again, we don't have to have specifics. We can play with just the energies of it. I say just the energies, but it's not just the energies. It's the energies. Yeah. Right, wrong, good, bad, online, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yeah. Because if you could, if your life, well, let's do this. What would you like your life and living to be like next year? The next 5 years? The next 10 years? And beyond? Now, possibly it was more expansive with every year, like every or set of years, like that's at least what it was for me. So with that, go to the most expansiveness, which may have been, you know, beyond 10 years, and bring all of that, like just energetically pull all of that energy to you now. Yeah, because what if you don't have to wait? What if you can actually choose that now? What might be possible, my sweet friends? Yeah. Wow. And all of the molecules of consciousness that are around, above you, below you, in front of you, every direction, all of it, all of those molecules of consciousness that can contribute to that showing up, all of those energies showing up as if by magic. Yeah, anything that doesn't allow you to gift and receive with them right now. We just turned and created all right, wrong, good, bad, online, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yeah, because energy is our first language. So often we buy the lie that if we think about it enough, if we figure it out enough, if we talk about it enough, that's what will create it. And that's often the exact opposite. That's what will kill it. Because it's a lot of figuring it out. It's my little kitty. There's a lot of what I call the DJCCs, pissers and RJs, which is an acronym for the decisions, judgments, conclusions, computations, projections, rejections, expectations, separations, refined judgments, which are all very similar energy, meaning the things that we use to stop us or to stop creations. And so the less that we think about it, the more magic that we can be. Right, wrong, good, bad, online, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yeah. Because imagine if you we're willing to acknowledge you as the energy you truly be, and the energetic being that you truly be, and how much more could you perceive, know, be, and receive? Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And this is the fun part of talking about an energetic thing, because a lot of times there's not words. So it can be, if you're only being aware of this through the words I'm talking about, this can be like, why is she talking so slow? Or why is there so much space here? Why isn't she saying more? And that's cool. And what if you allowed yourself to receive this energetically? Whew. Yeah. In Foundation, we run one of Dane's, Dr. Dane here, the co-founder of Access, we run one of his energetic synthesis communion of beings, which is an audio that it's an audio that we play during class, and it's a process that he does. So he does them usually when there's other classes going on. And so then anybody in that class who wishes to join goes and basically lays on a massage table, and he walks around and he's doing an energetic synthesis of communion of being, and he adds words, and it's really fun to receive that. And so in class, in a Foundation class, you actually like lay down and, you know, I hit play on the audio and we receive it all. And they just added some new ones for us to play during class, and it's so phenomenal, so phenomenal. And so when we were listening to it in this class, there's, you know, just times where he's just humming, or he's, you know, matching there were sometimes technical problems, and he would match the noise of it and such. And it was like, I could see how some people, if they didn't recognize what was going on, or they didn't get a sense of it, how they'd be like, what is happening? Like, this is silly. And if you're willing to receive it all, how much more is occurring? Like, truly, how much more is occurring? And how much do you be that? Yeah, now you might have bought the lie in this reality that you have to talk, or you have to fill the space, or you have to think, you have to worry, you have to distract yourself, you have to do all those things. You might have bought that lie. And what if you don't? Like, what if you don't? So I often talk about our mind being like a 2-year-old playing with knives. So our mind is constantly going into, well, that person looked at me funny, and I didn't do that thing, and I'm wrong for that, and they're wrong for that, like all this insanity, right? It's like a 2-year-old playing with knives. So in order to take knives away from a 2-year-old, if you've never done that, you want to replace them. So you don't just rip the knives out of their hands. You take them and you give them a new toy to play with, something that's maybe not knives. And so I find these tools from Access Consciousness are the things I replace with my 2-year-old, so that if I am having that space and I am starting to go into story or judgment or something to fill up that space, I take those knives away and I replace it with something. It could even just be the clearing statement, or the question of how does it get any better than this, or playing with the energy of what I'd like my life and my living to be like. Like, that to me is probably the most effective, efficient, I'm not sure what the word would be, use of my creative capacities. Now, of course, with that, there's going to be action to be taken. So let's use my my example of this, you know, this acreage. So we had a couple of the things we knew for sure we desired. We had things that energies that we were aware of, that we were asking for. And we still required to, you know, hubby required to go on Kijiji and see it. So there's still action that's required. So it's not about sitting back and going, well, I'm creating energetically and that's all we need to do, because it's all of it. It's all of it. It's the action too. And what I often refer to as guided action. So we, looking at, going and looking at every house that was available on the market, I mean, that's not probably guided action. Guided action was having, the energies, being aware of that, and then looking at the possibilities. So going on the real estate page and going, oh, that one, that one matches, oh, that one doesn't, and then going and actually looking at them. Now, it's not about going and only looking at one house and that's the house and you got it right. It's not that at all. Because I know for us, there were a few places that were, that matched. And then when we went and looked at them, they didn't match. So looking online, it was a match. They had the things and the energies, and then going in person, it's like, oh, no, not this place. And then there was one that really matched for me and did not match for hubby. And if you've been listening to me for a while, you've probably heard me talk about that because I was pretty sure I was going to kill him. And so freaking grateful because it did not have this. It was not this place. And so he was aware of something, and I was aware of something also. And I'm grateful that we had chose when we started the adventure of finding a place that both of us had to love it equally for us to choose it, because can really set up for some big problems down the road if only one of you loves it or one of you loves it more. Now, I certainly love the pool more, but there is equal love in all the things, but the pool is definitely my space. So, really having that and knowing that it's not like go and check. Choice is what would create the awareness. So whatever it is, and maybe you've been asking for a certain kind of car and you've got the energy, and then you go and you test drive it and it's not that one. Cool, that gives you the information. So often we think that awareness is like a psychic information. So if you get the hit to go test drive that car, it's because that's the car. No, it's going to give you some great information. It might give you that it's not the car. It might give you that, oh, I don't want a car at all, I want a Jeep or something like that. Like, yeah. So choice is what will create the awareness. So that's where we talk about like perceiving the energies, go follow that lightness. But don't take that lightness to mean that that's the thing. Take that lightness as a breadcrumb. And who knows, maybe on your drive over, you stop at a new restaurant that you've never tried, and now that becomes, one of your body's favorite places to go eat. I mean, who knows? I'm being extravagant with that, but you know what I mean. We don't want to ever take awareness as this is it. If it's light, or if I just get a knowing to do it, then it's the answer. No, it's another breadcrumb, and you want to always stay in question. Yeah. So what could you be asking for that if you would ask for it would change your entire life and living? Everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, receive, be, and ask for it will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, PUD, PUC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And what are the energies for you for a bigger life? What is that? And what is that? Makes it sound like there's only one. That's not the case. So what are they? What are those energies? And please know, when I ask that, I'm not asking you to define the energies. I'm just tap into those. Like, if that's what you like, maybe a bigger life isn't what you're looking for. I just started to recognize in my own life with life having been very different this last year and a half that that it's time to start asking for way more, whatever that is. Like, and I'll know I'll have some words as I go along and continue to play with it, and mostly it'll be energetic. And I'm so grateful that I am getting that now, because there was that time where I spent a lot of time very concrete with my asks, and that's not a wrongness. It's just, it really limits what the universe can gift us. Yeah. So everywhere that you have limited what the universe can gift you, will you destroy and uncreate it all times a godzillion? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, bedrock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And what has the universe been waiting to gift you that you're now willing to receive? Anything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive it with open arms, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, podpoc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Have a great week, sweet friends. I look forward to chatting again next week.